Hello, everybody, and welcome into another edition of After the Sandstorm here on Gamecock Central. Kendall Smith, joined alongside of Collyn Taylor here at Kroger Field in Lexington, Kentucky, following South Carolina's 24-14 win over the number 13 ranked team in the nation, the Kentucky Wildcats. And Collyn, this win for South Carolina, it's a big one, probably the biggest one so far of the Shane Beamer era, and he was even emotional during his post-game press conference. For you, as someone who's been covering this team for so long, and you've seen the ups and downs of what's been the Kentucky against South Carolina series, how big is this win?
Massive. I mean, it's huge for, this season as a whole. You're now, I'm trying to do the math, 4-2. You need 2 more wins to get to a bowl. You have 3 really winnable games coming up after the bye. For the season, it's huge. But for the program as a whole, if you're South Carolina and you want to get back to where you were in the early part of the 2010s, beating Kentucky has to be the norm. Beating Kentucky has to be a team that you compete with year in and year out for jockeying position in the SEC East. Beating this team, has to be something that's not a given, but something that is more feasible than winning 3 out of 10 or losing 7 out of 8. So huge for the program. South Carolina was the better team from the jump tonight. They could have scored a lot more points, didn't, but still things to clean up. But I can't understand how big of a win this was for South Carolina.
Well, Shane Beamer talked about it during the press conference. He said this has been the best week of practice for South Carolina and that they expected to win this game. We know that South Carolina saw their fair share of struggles in the first couple weeks of play, but where did you see their biggest improvement tonight, Collyn, that you think helped vault them to this victory?
It was defensively. Now, granted, yes, there is the caveat of Will Levis not playing, but Barry Brown played, Chris Rodriguez played, all of those playmakers played, and Kentucky's offense was just not the same level of good as it has been at times this year. And yes, Kentucky broke some big runs. That was going to happen. But South Carolina ultimately outrushed Kentucky, I believe total and a per yard basis. I could be wrong on that. But they were they held Chris Rodriguez largely in check at times, and they didn't let him. Chris Rodriguez wasn't the reason the offense was good. There was just really good defensive pressure. They got to the quarterback. They finished drives defensively. That's where I saw the biggest growth, and you got that monkey off your back in terms of beating Kentucky, winning on the road in the SEC, but you stopped the run at times, and I think that's a big thing moving forward for this defense going into the bye.
Heading into the bye week and then the week after, South Carolina back at home at Williams-Brice taking on Texas A&M. If you're a South Carolina fan watching this show right now, Collyn, and you're looking towards that game, do you think it is fair to say that South Carolina has a decent shot maybe against the Aggies in a couple weeks?
Yeah, Texas A&M on paper is probably from a star rating a little bit more talented, but that offense has really struggled. It's going to be at Williams-Brice, has a chance to be a night game, and South Carolina is riding some momentum right now, and there's a trend. Shane Beamer's now 3-0 with extra time to prepare for a game, and now he's getting extra time to prepare, so you never know. And certainly if you beat Texas A&M, you're going to be favored against Missouri and Vanderbilt moving forward. So you could be looking, if they beat Texas A&M and continue and building on what happened here, they have a chance to string together some very winnable games and get to a spot that a lot of fans maybe thought they would be halfway through the year.
3 wins in a row for the South Carolina Gamecocks. The first time that's happened since 2017. I was 17 years old. How old were you?
I was engaged.
We love playing this game. I love playing the game.
That was my no, I was thinking of 2020. That was I just finished my senior year at Carolina.
Okay, well, I'm in my senior year right now at South Carolina, so we love playing this game, seeing how old Collyn was and how old I was several years back. But regardless, huge win for South Carolina tonight in Lexington at Kroger Field, taking down the number 13 ranked Kentucky Wildcats with a final score of 24-14. Collyn, enjoy the bye week. I know you're still going to be working, and we will keep you all posted on Gamecock Central, but thank you so much for your insight as always. It's a little chilly. You can see our breath. Yeah, we need to go get warm. All right, Collyn, thank you so much. Thank you, everybody, for watching. He's Collyn Taylor. I'm Kendall Smith. This has been After the Sandstorm on Gamecock Central.